Hey guys, just giving you an update. Jupiter will be returning to YouTube sooner or later. I'm just been so busy with life and everything that's been happening. So, yeah, thank you all for subscribing and everything, getting me where I am.
How's it going, everyone? Jupiter is back, and I don't think there's one person on the internet who thinks this is a good thing. If you don't remember who Jupiter is a man in his mid to late 20s who believes he's a hybrid between a werewolf and a vampire, or just whatever Jupiter's imagination is feeling at the time. And did I forget to mention he's one of the most despicable predators on the internet as well? Well, he is. Jupiter is not afraid to tell people of his degeneracy. If he believes, it'll be kept a secret. He'll spill all of his creepy ideas, and genuinely, they are pure evil most of the time, and if it's not something terrible, it's literally just a childish game he's playing, like his comeback today. Jupiter had such a terrible paranormal moment, he decided he had to let us all know that, and he believes his police case is about to be thrown out right now, so this is probably the best time to make a comeback. So let's jump right into Jupiter's terrible spiritual experience.
I've had a lot of paranormal stuff going on in my house, like weird footsteps in the kitchen when no one's in there, feeling a presence in my room. And just recently, a couple weeks ago, I was in the kitchen making myself some dinner. And if any of you asked what I was making, it was ramen. And I was stirring it and everything, preparing to dump it all into a bowl. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I feel something grab the back of the nap of the shirts that I was wearing to keep warm. I feel something or someone grab the back and pull me backward. Scared the ever-living daylights out of me. And I don't know if that spirit was malevolent or benevolent, but I'm still like freaking out about it. It's still fresh in my mind. So I figured I'd, as I was saying, the entity, whatever or whoever it was, grabbed me by the nape of my shirt and ripped me back, nearly making me drop the pot of ramen. And it was a hot pot of ramen, mind you. And I'm still scared. So, yeah. Anyway, I will be posting more stories like this to my page. So do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And, yeah. I will start posting story times. I'll start posting my paranormal stuff, all the usual stuff. I'll even go on, paranormal. I'll go to places I can access near here in Idaho until I can, until the police case against me is all solved. Anyway, I will be posting more videos like this. Thank you all for listening to this weird, freaky kind of story. But if any of you have weird entities in your house, pick up a Bible or any sacred text and read aloud from it, and it should expel them. It is a little known trick to use ancient or, blessed texts such as Book of Mormon, Bible, whatever is sacred to your religion. Read that aloud, and it should expel the spirit from your home or from your vicinity. Of course, I cannot fully do this, so you have to find the fatal verse. The fatal verse will scream out at you, and you will be able to find the fatal verse and end whatever is going on.
Even the ghosts don't want a predator in their house. They've been there for years, and all of a sudden this guy gets dragged in there. If I was a spirit, I'd be mad too. The only solace I could probably find is messing with his Wi-Fi box to maybe save some souls while I try waiting him out. But in all seriousness, guys, Jupiter is an odd character. He reminds me so much of a child who just wants an adult to be in on the game as well. It's so noticeable when Jupiter is talking to someone and he notices that they are starting to slip out of his delusions. He'll instantly scold them and tell them, hey, you gotta play the way I want or I'm out of here. And there's no question about it. It's exactly like a 5 or a 6-year-old would do. Except for Jupiter, He really wants you to believe this as much as he wants to believe it. So when you mess up the game, you're messing with Jupiter's delusions, which is even worse in Jupiter's eyes. And where this can be seen as just like a silly habit of a man-child, you gotta consider what Jupiter gets up to in his off time. The case he mentioned wasn't for jaywalking, it was because the police came and seized all of his devices. He may seem innocent, but Jupiter actively tries to talk to people he knows is underage. In an interview with Kiwi Tapes, he flat out says that he is a predator and chooses to hide because he doesn't want the public to figure out. It's just a good thing that Jupiter isn't the smartest person to ever live. He normally always gets caught one way or the other, and if he didn't, I believe Jupiter would be a real danger. I mean, I don't think many would believe it's too much of a stretch to assume that maybe Jupiter does all these weird things to appeal to the younger generation. I mean, who would really argue with that? And did you hear him towards the end? It's so crazy how he can just casually slip in that he's got a police case that's been investigated. But don't worry, forget about that. If there's any ghosts in your house, just grab a Bible and call 1-800-JUPITER. He'll cleanse your house of all the unwanted spirits for the low cost of paying all of his legal fines. They don't call him a predator because he's a werewolf.
You may know me as Jupiter, Shadow Raven, and Maleforce by now. But this video isn't just about me. This video is about all of us. All of us in this day and age are still facing injustice. Being judged by the way we look, or for our actions on something we did when we were young, or even just for shit we did on the internet. We all get judged. It needs to stop. It needs to come to an end. I watched videos listening to how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stood up to people who were basically judging people based on their skin tone. And Dwayne, if you are watching my videos, I think you're an amazing guy. So keep up the work that you do. It's good. Anyway, as I was saying, we've all been judged. We've all been misjudged by everybody around us. I am doing something here now, realizing that there is so much injustice in this world. We all need to stand together, not against. So this is Maleforce taking a stand against injustice. You should never judge a book by its cover. If you did judge a book by its cover, then all you'll do to yourself is make yourself look stupid. I am, and always will be, Corbin Pinnell, but I am Maleforce and Shadow Raven. And that is who I am, and that is who I will continue to be. You shouldn't judge me based off of actions I did. I'm not a bad person. I just made mistakes, but I learned from them. So should you all. This goes out to those who are judging others based on their skin tone. This goes out to them. Never judge a book by its cover, people. Because that book might just come around and bite you in the ass. Because you judged us based on what we did or what we looked like. The internet is full of pieces of shit. But this here is me, myself. I'm taking a stand against injustice these days.
What kind of cyraxx logic is going on here, homies? It hasn't been a year since Jupiter fled the internet. I think maybe 6 months at the most, and he's already popping back up telling us he's changed and that we should forgive him. How does it not make sense when you do things like they did? People don't want to see you come back at all. They're finished with you, as they should be. But still yet, how do you think just a few short months is going to change anything? Like, do you remember what you did? It takes a lifetime, and not even that. But just a few short months and Jupiter thinks it's all fine. Like, you didn't steal gum from a store, dude. But at least Jupiter will stand up for equality, guys. And that's really cool for a guy who completes the little Nicky Trinity. The three Predators, Jupiter the Hybrid, Herobrine 1, and Brandon Brutal. Jupiter's not even from this plane of existence. And let's not forget, not even human. Basically just an undead werewolf vampire. But he still cares. Not about most things normal people would. He's not perfect. You have to watch your kids, your spouse, and your house pets. But at least we know he won't discriminate. And you know that's most likely because he's been watching the WWE, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he pulled Jupiter from the path of complete evil. He's still pretty evil, but not entirely. Do you guys think The Rock could feel shivers running through his body when Jupiter uttered his name? Felt an urge to deliver one last people's elbow out of nowhere?
The entire time I've been making videos on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. The whole time I've been making videos, I have been judged. I have had death threats hurled at me. I've had people call me a child predator when I'm not. It's not fair. This world isn't fair. But should you judge someone based on what they did, on past actions, or on their skin color? Then take another look at yourself. Take another look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, do you want to be that person? And to any, if any famous people are watching these videos, any famous people at all, any celebrities, basketball players, whatever, just know that I stand with you guys. I stand to support everybody, no matter their skin tone. No matter where they come from, because I learned from my mistakes as a person. And I learned that injustice shouldn't be let loose in this world.
During these new videos Jupiter just released, there was a few times where Jupiter's caretakers would start talking to him and then quickly leave him be. And I could only wonder, why don't they keep him on more of a leash? Every time this dude is talking to someone on the internet, it has to get bad in that group home, whether it's the FBI raiding the place, or just the police raiding the place, or non-stop pizzas, or any other kind of DoorDash deliveries. It's gotta be chaos in there 24/7 as soon as he gets access to the internet. And if it's not chaos the trolls are causing, they'll just talk Jupiter into putting his entire neighborhood at risk by burning his My Little Ponies on the windiest day possible. You'd think after the FBI showed up a time or two, they'd be like, you know what? I don't think this Jupiter guy needs a phone anymore. And I understand internet access in general would be harder to take away from him since it would affect everyone in the group home. But I'd be willing to bet a PC in the middle of the living room is far easier to monitor than a phone. Jupiter can just hide it at any time and you would never even know. And if you've ever heard him talk to those employees, he shows them absolutely no respect. There's no way if I was in their shoes, I'd be super accommodating to Jupiter just to appease myself a little bit. Jupiter treats his caretakers the exact same way Daniel Larson did, except Jupiter seems very aware he wouldn't last on the streets. And that's so Jupiter. He understands consequences, but is willing to push them up until the point he thinks he can go no further. Look at how he talked online before he got raided by the FBI. He would brag about talking to all these underage people all the time. It didn't matter. But as soon as it happened, all he could speak on was how he definitely didn't want that big DES charge. It just wasn't going to happen to Jupiter, not him. But in all honesty, I don't think that one has synced all the way in yet, since Jupiter gets caught up about every time he returns, so I give it a week maybe, before he does something incredibly stupid and ends up having to hightail it off the internet again, or just gets even more of his devices seized. But I guess that's enough for me today, guys. I know this was a shorter one, but to make up for that, I got a brand new lolcow coming up for you guys this week. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and follow the socials down below. And I got a lot of things planned for us this week. It's going to be a good one.